What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video because it looks like Arne personally approved the Liverpool signing Milos Kerkez. This is one of the most nailed on transfers for the summer transfer window because Arne is all about work rate, intensity, and Milos Kerkez has that in abundance. You could argue that Milos Kerkez is the best left back in the Premier League this season, or at least one of the top 5 or one of the top 3 left backs, and he's only 21 years old. And in this video we will talk about all the latest reports linking Milos Kerkez with an imminent Liverpool transfer, and I wouldn't be surprised that if behind the scenes this deal is already close to being done. And Fabrizio Romano posted an exclusive saying that Arne personally approved this transfer move for Milos Kerkez. The performances of Kerkez at Bournemouth have been sensational this season. He got a fantastic assist against Tottenham, and that epitomized everything that Milos Kerkez is all about. He intercepted the ball when Tottenham were on the attack. He ran all the way up the pitch with nobody getting close to him because he was so fast, and then he whipped in an absolutely devilish deep cross into the far post, which just had to be tapped home. It was an absolutely sensational goal, and it's almost going to be almost impossible for Bournemouth not to sell Milos Kerkez because he is now ready to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. And the first crucial point is that Kerkez decided to sign with a new agency, Lion Sports, and Fali Ramadani, he is his agent, and that's the same agency that Federico Chiesa is a client of. So that is a clear message for from Kerkez that he's probably looking for a new chapter in his career. Ramadani is the same agent who is taking care of Federico Chiesa, and he's responsible for his move to Liverpool last summer. So he has an excellent relationship already with the Liverpool hierarchy. And Liverpool were already interested in Kerkez in 2024, but he was not on the market at that point. Bournemouth didn't really want to sell him so early, just 1 year after they signed him. And it was Richard Hughes, the current Liverpool sporting director, of course, signed Kerkez for Bournemouth. And by the way, what is your score prediction for the Liverpool-Paris Saint-Germain game? Because that game is tonight and I'm really excited for it, and I will preview that game in the second part of this video. So if you want to listen to that, make sure to listen to the video in full. But leave your score predictions. I predict a very hard-fought 2-1 Liverpool win, and Liverpool should go through. But if PSG get the first goal, then it will be a nervy evening. And Fabrizio Romano said that Arne has already approved this transfer for Milos Kerkez. It's not something, of course, guaranteed. It's not something agreed at this stage. But Liverpool want to bring in a new left back in the summer, and Kerkez is one of 3 names on the shortlist. But I'm saying that this is one of the most nailed on transfers because Kerkez's profile fits into Arne style, Arne philosophy the most. Because don't get me wrong, Paul Robinson and Ryan Hart-Nouri, they are also really good left backs, but they don't have as much quality and as much intensity as Kerkez. And weirdly, Kerkez is the youngest out of these 3 players. And contacts are expected to follow and continue in the next months because Liverpool's interest is genuine, concrete, and Kerkez also wants to move on and try new things. And of course the added bonus is that Liverpool are going to become Premier League champions, and Kerkez has his good friend Dominic Szoboszlai already at the club. Kerkez played all 28 games for Bournemouth as a starter. He has 2 goals, 5 assists, 1.4 tackles per game, 1.2 interceptions, 0.9 key passes. And the sources claim that Kerkez wouldn't cost 50 million pounds. It would be just 40 to 45 million euros, which could be around 35 to 38 million pounds, which I think is a great price for a player who could become an 80 million pound left back if he gets to Liverpool, because I think with Liverpool being so dominant, he could get a lot more goals and a lot more assists in a Liverpool side. Basically, he would be our new Andy Robertson, if you like. And remember Andy Robertson in his prime when he was bombing up and down the pitch? Kerkez has that same energy, same intensity. Of course, it remains to be seen whether Kerkez can become as good as Robertson was in his prime. prime, because he was one of the best left backs in his prime, Andy Robertson, and he's still pretty decent. So Kerkez has the potential to become that good. We shall wait and see. Hopefully we will find out. Man United were keen to sign Kerkez in January. Bournemouth didn't really want to sell, and then they signed Dorgu instead, who is also a pretty decent talent. He's playing, you know, struggling Man United team. And Man United are now expected to be out of the race for Kerkez because they have, you know, bigger problems in their team. And another news article is claiming that Liverpool will meet the asking price from Bournemouth of Milos Kerkez, and they won't get a better player anywhere. Liverpool are prepared to meet Bournemouth's asking price. That's what the article says, and that is according to chief scout Mick Brown, who remains very well connected within the game. He used to work at Man United and Blackburn, and he said that Kerkez is the perfect fit for Arne Slot. And the sources are saying that this transfer deal is progressing well. And so this is what former chief scout Mick Brown said. Liverpool decided that Kerkez is the one they want. It looks like Robertson isn't thought of as a long-term option there anymore. They tend to take him off after around an hour most weeks. So they are now targeting somebody who can play 90 minutes week in, week out. Kerkez has done very well at Bournemouth this season, and he looks like the perfect fit. And also, Robertson is 31 years old, so he can't be a long-term solution for Liverpool. Kerkez is aggressive in and out of possession. He's quick, he's not afraid to get forward, and he has a good cross on him, as we saw against Tottenham. For £40 million, I don't see where they go to get a better player than him for a lower price. Liverpool are prepared to meet that asking price, and I think there is a very strong possibility that this deal gets done, and I'm really rubbing my hands together. Szoboszlai and Kerkez, two of the best Hungarian players. In my beloved Liverpool, it's like a pinch me moment. This is just so surreal, and I'm so happy. Szoboszlai could become the first Hungarian in the history of the Premier League to win the Premier League title, and that is absolutely spectacular, and I really am loving this season. I hope that we can get through PSG, because Liverpool has a genuine chance to win the Champions League. Especially if we win the Premier League title early, we can rotate in the Premier League and focus on the Champions League later stages. What an amazing run that would be, to go all the way to the Champions League final. So let's see whether Liverpool can jump over this big hurdle against Paris Saint-Germain. Paul Robinson, former Tottenham goalkeeper, is saying that Liverpool are closing in on Milos Kerkez, and he's the one they will get. He said if the only thing that could hamper the Kerkez deal is if Bournemouth get European football. They've got a very outside chance of it this season, which could then see them turn down offers. Yeah, if Bournemouth get Champions League football, they could even turn down any offers for their big players. But even then, we have seen in the past that Bournemouth are willing to sell. Their model is still like a selling club. This is their highest position that they have ever been in their entire history. They have cashed in on the likes of Dominic Solanke. They sold him to Tottenham for 60 million and others before. Bournemouth or Fulham getting European football could maybe have an impact on the deals and whether they are willing to sell. But if Liverpool pay the right fee, he's the one that they will get. So that is very encouraging, and I'm very happy to hear so many reports now linking Kerkez to Liverpool that surely this transfer will get done. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really confident. And here is the potential points of all the top teams that they can get in the top 10 if they get, you know, maximum points, and you can see the average points needed for the rest of the season to achieve a certain points total. And you can see the total domination that Liverpool have. Liverpool can still get to 97 points. We need to win every game. The more realistic is we get to around 90, 91 points. Maybe even lower if we decide to rotate in the last few games. But also Arsenal, who are really hurt that they aren't challenging for the title anymore, they haven't averaged more than 2 points per game all season. So how can they be proper title contenders when they are just a Champions League team? they are on course to get to 74, 75 points, which makes them just a regular Champions League top 4 qualification team. Nottingham Forest are on course to finish on 69 points, which is pretty amazing, and at the moment, as you can see, Man City can only get to 77 points, even if they win every single game remaining. So that is a huge downfall by Man City, one of the worst seasons under Pep Guardiola. Anybody from Nottingham Forest below cannot rest easy, because even Bournemouth and even Fulham with a great run, Fulham can get to 72 points and get to the Champions League, but even top 5 qualifies for the Champions League. That's now almost certain. In fact, this week, if English teams go through in the Champions League and Europa League and the Conference League, then it will be secure that top 5 qualifies for the Champions League. And if Arsenal are continuing their points average, that means Liverpool just need 6 more points in the last 9 games to win the title. That is absolutely mind-blowing, and it shows how bad Arsenal are. And it's not because of Arsenal fans, you know, claiming this is the worst season in the Premier League. No, it's actually the most competitive the Premier League has ever been, because of, you know, the likes of Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Brighton, Aston Villa, Fulham, Brentford, Crystal Palace, all being incredibly strong. It shows that Tottenham and Man United having an average season doesn't mean they just finished 5th or 6th. It means they finished bottom half of the table. That's how strong the mid-table teams are. You don't get a guaranteed 3 points now anymore against Bournemouth, Fulham, Brighton, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. You don't get an easy 3 points against these teams. They are proper, really tough opponents, and it just shows that the Premier League is the most competitive league, and it's better than ever in my opinion. And Liverpool getting to potentially 90 plus points in such a competitive, insanely strong Premier League is testament how well the players have done and how well Arne has done as well. And at current rate, Arsenal have the 21st best point total for a second place team in the last 25 seasons. So Arsenal is one of the worst second place teams in the last 25 years. Nottingham Forest and Chelsea are, you know, for 3rd and 4th, one of the worst 3rd and 4th place teams, and Liverpool are on target for the 6th highest, you know, champion total in Premier League history. I don't think the Premier League is weak. I think it's actually stronger than ever before, and it just shows how good Liverpool have been. And now let's preview the Paris Saint-Germain game, which is going to be a very tricky game. If Liverpool play like we played against PSG in the first leg, then we can lose easily. If we play like we played against Southampton in the first half, without any intensity, conserving energy, then we will lose and go out. What we need is intensity. We need to be in Paris Saint-Germain's faces, and we need to be cool and calm, and the Anfield crowd will be up for it, because the European night, when the qualification is on the line, the Liverpool fans will be absolutely on it. So the players need to be on it as well, and hopefully, you know, Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai getting substituted will give them more energy. Liverpool need to be careful, because we have 5 players who, if they get 1 yellow card, will be suspended. The most worrying players are Virgil van Dijk, Konate, McAllister and Robertson. The 5th is Harvey Elliott. He's not a regular starter, but those 4 are regular starters, and if any of those 4 players get a yellow card, they will be suspended, which is a ridiculous rule. But Van Dijk in his program notes said that Liverpool, a huge club, lives for big European nights, and the aim tonight is a simple one. Let's add another famous European night to our collection. And he says he has so many amazing Anfield memories when it comes to Champions League. The wins against Man City, Roma, Napoli, Barcelona, when we became European champions, but also Benfica, Villarreal, Bayer Leverkusen, Real Madrid. Liverpool have so many absolutely incredible European nights. All of those nights had things in common. We were there testing ourselves against the very best teams, knowing that one slip-up could cost us everything. We had to combine quality with intensity, staying calm in certain moments and step it up in others. We had to have the perfect mentality, maintaining belief and confidence at all times, but also making sure we were humble enough to run and battle and fight for 90 plus minutes. And of course, more importantly, we also needed our fans to help us, and I think the Anfield crowd will be up for it. The atmosphere away at Parc des Princes was really good, but I know what Anfield is capable of on a night like this. I can't wait to see and hear the fans. Van Dijk said, we come into the game on the back of a positive result against Southampton, and we know that there are things that we will need to improve on in terms of our performance levels. The first half was a reminder of what can happen if we allow our levels to drop both individually and collectively. That was a point the head coach made after the game. It is up to us to make sure that we take his words on board. We need to play with more intensity, with and without the ball. We need to run and fight for everything from the very first whistle. There is no hiding place on a night like this, and that is something that motivates us. I know every single player in our dressing room wants to be involved in these kind of games, to experience these kinds of atmospheres. The level of excitement and focus is high. And here is confirmation from Louis Steele, Liverpool-based journalist, that Liverpool have indeed 5 players at risk of missing the Champions League quarter-final. I think Van Dijk, Konate and McAllister would be the biggest misses if we got any of them a yellow card and a suspension. It's a pretty insane rule that you only need to get 3 yellow cards in a span of 10 games to get you suspended for a quarter-final in the Champions League. They really need to change the rule, because in the Premier League it's I think 5 yellow cards in the first like 16 match games, so maybe they need to bump it up to 4 yellows in 10 games, needing 4 yellows to get a suspension. Also, it's even more insane for teams who go through the playoffs, because they play 12 games before the quarterfinals, and if you get 3 yellow cards in those 12 games, you get suspended for the first leg of the quarterfinal. And it doesn't even reset in the quarterfinal. It only resets before the semifinals, I think. So only after the quarterfinals are done. The referee who is refereeing today is a referee who set the record for most yellow cards at the European Championship, something like 17 yellows in one match. So I'm just praying that this is not one of those refereeing performances where he's just giving yellows for everything. But he's also 35th out of 45 referees when it comes to giving yellow cards per game in the Champions League this season. Hopefully he will be not too card happy, giving yellow cards to everybody. But the most important thing is Liverpool should go through if we play to the best of our ability. So come on Liverpool, let's knock PSG out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.